Suliev in this game tree.
So DYG definitely will be a bit more aggressive, right? Now, I mean, now you have the Sulia, you're able to play a little bit more risky with the extra life. But, that's one consideration. The other consideration is let's hear the fans.
Lane swap committed here coming in for the side of DYG, rotating Chance and also the side of Kong in towards the Clash lane.
Yeah, I like this rotation, right? It's a very defensive rotation coming in from the side of DYG, but they do secure that initial camp, right? It goes into the hands of Chance on the top side. Meanwhile, they did not allow the steal from Biddy onto the touch boards. It did go into the hands of Yudo, so I'm not sure if that's the ideal plan for the side of DYG, but they are getting engaged on. First life will be burned away from the side of Kong. Should be fine now.
Yeah, puts him into more reactive state as well. Kong without the Iron Colossus passive here, I wouldn't think that he can play much more aggressive later on with a almost 2.5 to 3 minute cooldown here on the spell.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to extract value, right? DYG want to freeze the lane. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure. Unless maybe Xren finds a kill here, which is going to immediately be spotted out. Nice pushback from the side of Team WE. And for now, DYG still looking for options.
And Mingzi actually having a very comfortable heart rate as well, only at a 70 heart rate here. You know the man is chilling in this game tree.
Yeah, you want to keep calm, right? Keep composed. Look for the most important part to really, get that stab in.
And you can see a bit of a hand camp here coming in from the side of Mingzi, just casually zoning out both players from accessing this bush here. And on towards the flip side here, he does get engaged on by the Maestro Nui.
Yep, nice knockup. Not going to be enough. DYG looking for an opening, unable to find a finishing blow for that.
Yeah, a bit of a tussle towards the mid lane here. And also you providing all the farm in towards the pockets of Xren here, making sure that this Nakamura doesn't fall behind the curve of the gold growth.
Yeah, right now they're able to get the succession. Ultimate use, but it might not be enough. One more hit should do the job. He's so low. He will make it out. Biddy, it will survive the initial aggression here. Looking for a little bit more lifesteal coming in from his second skill, Death's Precipice. Secures the healing dew as well. So DYG managing to slow Biddy for a little bit longer.
I was too close for comfort here coming in for the side of WE's jungle here. But that's the potential as well coming in from both the Nakoruru and the early game pick here known as Meng Tian on the hands of Le here. With that alone, they do chunk out a bit of a health here coming from Biddy, forcing him to play even more reactively in this early game.
Okay, I know we said this a couple of times during the first and second series, but Clash is getting the top of the farm here. Not going to be too common. Now with that, they will drop down the Aura and Explosion on the top side, looking for the first blood. They activate the Ultimate Thunder's Might. Is it going to be enough? The heals will be sufficient coming in from side of the Team WE. They survived the initial aggression. DYG still looking for an opening.
But that's very big cooldowns being used for the side of Xiao Kun's Sikong here. No Frenzy, no Thunderous Might, and then objective coming up in 20 seconds here. I would say that this looks pretty advantageous for the side of DYG.
True, but Le did also burn out his flash, so that gives a little bit more difficulty for DYG. Now they do have the passive of Kong available. So let's see what kind of positionings DYG will be looking for, because the wave clear in the mid lane is the prior here.
Yeah, priority given over to the side of WE here. Hence, they are the first mover to touch on this Tyrant here. How does DYG enter this fight? As we see, rotations coming in from both Clash laners here.
Yeah, putting quite a bit of damage onto the health bars of JO. They're looking for the finishing blow. The reset should be coming in, but on the back line to get the first blood, Xiao Kun is going to be taken down. But WE, they make the trade. They get the Tyrant, first Tyrant of the game as well. Looking for an opening. Now, Le does not have flash, but in a couple seconds more, this could turn very nasty for the side of Team WE.
You can see the good rotations here coming in from DYG. Man marking every single WE member so they can chunk out this mid turret and potentially take it in their pockets here. Super well done by DouYu Gaming players.
Yep, T1 in the mid, going to be secured. They will try and funnel this Crimson Golem into the hands of their jungler. Just by a little bit, so BD does secure that. In the meantime, DYG already putting pressure and applying pressure on the Azure Golem on the top. Not gonna make the steal, but it's about knowing the presence and position of the Team WE players.
But you can also give props towards the side of Yu on how proactive he is on this Maestro Nui here. The first play before the Tyrant, he forced out the ultimate and frenzy coming in from Xiao Kun, and the second play immediately flashed Yu engine on towards him, knowing for the fact that he has no way of escaping here, allowing his team to get that early mid lane tower.
Yeah, and we'll see. The pokes are coming in. Quite a big knockup from the side of Kong. Backline coming. Extran looks for his target. Gets him! There is no second skill. And with the flash coming in by Kong as well. This is no second life. He has to run away. He's still alive. One more hit will do it. JU gets the final kill. But Biddy has been lost. Ink has been lost as well. They use the Thunder Smite looking for the finishing blow onto the side of Le. He will survive among him. The turnaround comes in. Extran gets and finishes the job. Xiao Kun no longer available as DYG win big in this fight.
The setup is just so darn beautiful coming in from both Le and Kong here, absorbing so much damage coming from WE, and then you see Extra and Chance coming in, picking up every
phase because we knew the power of the burst. And this one, Extra showed you why Nago is a great answer against not just tanky lineups, but squishy lineups. Xiao Kun can't tank that much.
Of course, like if Xiao Kun doesn't have all these like physical defense items, especially later on with Spike Mail, he will be systematically chunked down super hard by Extra here. And this Nakoruru, he doesn't always go for the big win. Chunking out half your health is considerably that you are out of the fight already in these exchanges.
I just like how these teams play, right? It's rarely about the kills. Down here, it's about setting up the situation to get the backdoor protection off, and then you get the T2s, the T3s, and suddenly you find yourself in a very precarious situation because you're dealing with super minions all of a sudden.
And this goes back to the draft again, right, where we talk about the Zhuangzi. Yes, against crowd control, very nice here, but once you use it, you are nothing more than just a walking minion here. As you can see, Biddy taking too much damage here on towards the front line.
He can't survive, he needs to run right now, but the chase down happens, he will get knocked up. Right now, the lifesteal is going to be the difference maker, and with the Thunder Smite, they chase them away. They're all falling low on the side of DYG. Is this a mistake to overstay? They do get Le, he's gonna be the first one to fall, Yu's gonna fall as well. Chance, Extran, you have to back off now, and that's exactly what they do. Team WE punish the aggression.
Yeah, Biddy survived that team fight so long here, absorbing every single burst damage that's being generated coming in from Le, Yu, Chance, and also Extra here, breathing signs of life in this game back for the side of DYG. And also, one key thing, in that exchange, DYG had no real form of healing reduction. Now Yu has successfully purchased that venomous staff in for this Maestro Nui.
But is it too late? The T1 in the mid is now open, taken for free as well. DYG unable to find a response here. The setup by the side of Kong is not going to be available. He does not have flash, does not have his ultimate, just got it. But at this point, looks like DYG have other plans. They're trying to buy room to make sure that Extran can really get that pressure on the top going.
We're back to a square one right now for both of these teams. In the first 8 minutes, it was in favor of DYG, finding those successful team fights, but a turnaround happened with Xiao Kun and also Ink surviving those team fights, dealing so much DPS against the front lines here. And right now, take a look at Xiao Kun here. He's not afraid of this Nakoruru.
Yeah, he definitely is not, right? He also has the backup of his farm laner, Ink. And so far, I think Ink has been caught out a couple of times, right? But it's not enough to kind of dwindle the game just yet. There is going to be close to a 2,000 goal lead going to the side of DYG. Now, it's really about this 10-minute mark, right? Whoever gets this Shadow variant will have an advantage.
This 10-minute mark is just going to be too important for any of these teams. One flick of an eye, one secured objective that will spell doom for either of these teams. And especially, this is match series point at hand for their contention.
They need information about where the members of DYG are at. That's what Team WE is trying to do. But at the same time, Yi on that mid, he already has a spectacular position here, hiding in the fog of war. It's all about the knockup. If he finds Xiao Kun here, it's going to be huge. But for now, it's going to be a very even trade between the two teams. Nice setup by the side of Le. He gets the initial stun. They have used Ultima by Jayo, but the first life on the side of Kong, not yet burned out. DYG playing this slow, playing this calculated.
All the spells have been burned out as well, coming in from both of these teams here. But then, control being relinquished towards DYG for this Shadow Tyrant here, as we see a bit of a poke damage coming in from Shren, contesting further for this River Pit here.
Yep, he wants to look for the ultimate setup on his team. First life gone for the side of Kong. Here comes a Thunder Smite. Can they survive? Kong will be falling shortly. One more hit does the job. And this is not going to be nice for the side of DYG. They do get a trade on the jungler on the side of Biddy. But this first life, the only life is going to be gone. They pull the trigger. And DYG, they have found some big targets. But they need to find more. All they have to do is to win this one. And with that, they get the secondary kill. Mings is left all alone. DYG have finally cracked the armor open. The chase down now will happen. They need to play this really safe with their poker chosen. They know that this Mings cat boom is around. What's the call here? DYG, they don't want to over-aggress. They will clear the lanes.
The kiting game coming in from the tri-carries for the side of DYG is just so marvelous here. Every single glide coming in from Chance, he was positioned so well in towards the enemy's face here, assassinating Ink, assassinating the side of Xiao Kun here. As we can see towards the replay here, the passive Iron Colossus comes out from the side of the Soulier, and then the immediate engage coming in from WE. As of this point, you might see that, hey, it's looking really WE favor here, but then an immediate re-engage comes in by Love before he was to fall, and then Chance comes in and swoops up all the kills in towards his pockets here, but then another fight breaks through on this Tyrant.
Oh no, not looking good for Ink. They will have to commit the butterfly effect, saving his life, giving him the armor as well. But this means DYG have pushed him off. They get the Prior over the Shadow Tyrant pit. Will get started, and looks like they will finish the job right now. It's going to be stolen as well. Crimson buff into the hands of Xshen. They can do a lot more now, DYG, if they want to. 3 lanes are crashing in. T2 at the top, also under pressure and in trouble right now.
A domino effect in favor for the side of DYG here. Raging Sandstorm catches on Xshen.
Yep, Thunder Smite going to be committed as well. He will make it out safely. Xiao Kun, though, has to use his ultimate as a defensive measure, which means DYG, Xshen now, he can get some free damage on the T3 at the bottom. In fact, he might want to commit. No, he will make it out for now. The jump comes in from the side of Team WE, a little too late.
The game was in an equal state with a 2,000 deficit for the side of Team WE, securing Shadow Tyrant, and then going for the red buff steal, and then mid, top tower, and right now, due to the minions, bottom tier 3 has fallen as well. Everything is going so smooth for the side of DouYu Gaming after that Shadow Tyrant secure.
Yeah, beautiful work from the side of DouYu Gaming, right? But we have to remind the viewers of this point. You was talking about this. Where is this initiation game by WE?
It's the difficult part, right? Because the DPS was looking very good coming in from Xiao Kun and also Ink, but then this goes into the same thing. If Biddy isn't able to get all the resources for this Super Tank Ogren, which he has fallen off in this game, you don't really have a strong enough front line in the hands of JO here. So this puts WE in a much more reactive situation that every single play will be initiated by DYG. It's DYG's game to call instead of WE.
Yeah, right. Because you can't really initiate. You're relying on the long-range pokes, which is what WE are trying to do. But right now, with the base being threatened, this is where DYG find their full strength. The pokes are coming in. It's not going to be enough damage. T3 in the mid, taken down as well. They have found quite a bit of damage onto Xiao Kun. And DYG, they know what's at stake. They will play safe. They start running back.
Very clean stuff there. You can see the positioning coming in from the Maestro on the hands of Yu. Just standing in between the turrets and the crystal, poking with the Kachus, and anyone to walk up, he will do a clean combo, uppercut on towards him, make sure that Xiao Kun goes in the fight and has to back away with half health.
Yeah, and the late game value of the Maestro Nui pick is still available at this point. Nice setup onto the side of JU. They want to force out his ultimate. He is going to be very stingy with it. Saves it. First life gone from the side of Kong. Can they do more? They revive him with his passive as well. And with this, a lot more damage structurally done to the T3 on the top. DYG stay patient and they stay in control.
Now the next thing for them on the chopping block will be the jungle resources, and then the 50 seconds respawn timer on that Shadow Tyrant here. With another pickup of the 2 Shadow objectives, they might potentially back this game tree in towards their hand in this KCC2025.
Okay, I know for majority of the DYG fans, it doesn't look like there is a lose condition. But what does Team WE need to do here?
Okay, if Team WE, there is something they need to do, is to overcommit their front line in the form of Le and Kong, and then they get burned down by Xiao Kun and Ink, resulting into a 5v3, then potentially they may come back. But look at the Raging Sandstorm towards JO.
Alright, they do burn out the butterfly effect. The chase down comes in. Initial poke is going to be set up by the side of Kong. The backlines are exposed on the side of Team WE. They try to separate them, but the damage is too much. Here comes the poke from Chance as well. They finish the jungler. Biddy is going to be taken down. Ink is so low. One more hit will hit the flash as well. And Chance grabs that opportunity. They take down 4. Just a lonesome member, Xiao Kun, left alone to defend against the onslaught that is DYG. They get the T3, and this is looking like game number 3 is going to be secured. They have managed to clear the wave, so DYG, they have to be patient for a little bit more.
Xiao Kun needs to make a miracle play if he wants to save this tower. Keep up the minions crashing here. Game 3 will be looking forward for the side of DYG to be packing it for themselves. Right now in the lead is DYG 2-1 in this best of 5.
A much more comfortable win for the side of DYG.